and welcome to our tutorial on navigating through pages in NextJS application. Today we are diving into different techniques you can use to move between pages, from the basic link component to more advanced programmatic navigation. Whether you are building a simple blog or a complex web application, mastering navigation in NextJS is key to creating a seamless user experience. So let's get started. First, ensure you have NextJS project set up. If not, you can create one quickly by running the command npx create-next-app. Once it is installed, open your project in your favorite code editor, and I will be using VS Code in this case. So let's begin by exploring the most common methods for navigation. First one is the link component. Link component is the primary way to enable client-side navigation between pages. So this is how you can use it. So let me open my project, and here I will create few pages to show you. So in the app directory, I will create a file, a folder. I will create a file about page.tsx and I will export it. So I have created the page and exported it. I will give it a name, page. You can give it whatever name, it does not matter. And here I will add about tag. Okay, all right. So now let me show you the about page. I will add about here and you will see that about page is visible. Okay, so this is the home page and that was the about page. So now on the home page, I will add the link component below it. Make sure to import the link component from the next/link, and here I will add the path. Okay, let me add line break here. There is a flex, so we have to add flex direction column. All right, now if I click on that, it will immediately take us to the about page. So this code creates a link to an about page. The navigation happens on the client side without a full page reload, making it incredibly fast. Next we will look at the programmatic navigation with the use router. Sometimes you need more control over navigation, such as redirecting after a form submission. So here is where the use router hook comes in. So let me show you on the same page, home. I can add, actually in order to use the use router, we have to make it a client side component. So for that I will add use client here, and after that, if this is a client side component, then you cannot add async here. Okay, now let me add constant with the name router is equal to use router. Make sure to import it from the next/router. Once that is done, we will create a function navigate to about, and then we will use the router.push and call that function, and we will pass it the path of our page. And now I will add a button that will call this function and it will take us to that page. So let's add the button. You can see I have passed it the navigate to about function on click event. So let's now give it a quick try. Let's go back to the home page and let me reload it. I made a mistake here, as I'm using app directory, so I cannot use the next/router. Instead of that, you have to use next/navigation. So this is the difference. So if you are using the pages directory, then you can add next/router, but if you are using the app directory, then you must have to add the /navigation. Okay, now let's give it a quick try. And okay, now if you click on that, it will still take you to the about page. So now both links are working, this one and this one. Okay, so this button when clicked will programmatically navigate to the about page. Next we will quickly talk about the dynamic routes navigation. Next.js supports dynamic routes and navigation to them is straightforward. For example, if you have a dynamic route like /posts/id, you can navigate programmatically. So let me quickly create the skeleton for the route. So in the app directory, I will create a file post/id/page.tsx. Okay, now it has created all of the folders, and now I will export this page, and here you can add a heading dynamic page, and let me add some quick styles. Let me manually access it. So here I will add post/1 or 11, whatever, and you can see we are on the dynamic page. Now let's go back to the home page, and here I will add another button. So let me create a function first, navigate to dynamic route. Okay, so now I have added post/1, or you can add backticks as well if you want to use variables like this post id, and you can create a variable post id is equal to 123. Okay, now I will create another button here. I will do the same that I did earlier. Now you can see I have the programmatic dynamic route. If you click on that, it will take you to the dynamic page. Or another approach is that you can add a link tag as well, like this. So you can just add href and pass it the path. This is the path and this is the dynamic route. Save it, and now click on that. It will still take you to the dynamic page. Next, we will quickly talk about the replacing current URL. If you want to replace the current URL in the history stack, you will use the router.replace. So using replace instead of push means the user will not return to the current page if they hit the back button. So let me quickly demonstrate to you. So here, let me add a function const replace with about, and now we'll just use the replace function. And now I will create another button here. Okay, so here I have passed the new function on this button. Click. Now let's say I want to go to the about page. If you click on the about, if you click on the back button, you are able to go back to the home page. But if I click on this button, this will replace in the history stack. And now if you click on the back button, you will not be able to come back to the original page. Next, we will quickly talk about the prefetching pages. Prefetching can improve your application's performance by loading page resources in advance. So here we are using the link tags. You can add prefetch here and it will automatically prefetch it. Or if you are using programmatical approach, then you will use the router.prefetch function. So for example, on the top, you may add a use effect. So let's say, so this will call our function on component mount. So when the first time the component is mounted, it will prefetch our pages. So for example, I will use router.prefetch and we will prefetch our about page. Okay. Now I will quickly demonstrate this prefetch feature. So let me tell you that the link tag by default applies the prefetch. So you don't, if you even don't add it, it will still be prefetching it. So it does not matter if you add it or not. If you don't add it, it will still be prefetching. And so this thing and this thing is 100% same. So, but in some case, if you want to disable the prefetching for a specific page, you can just add false here, then it will not prefetch it. So let me quickly show you in the browser. So right now I will not prefetch anything, and let me comment this out for now because I want to show you everything. So by default, you are not able to see the prefetch behavior in the development mode. You have to run it in the production. So to run it in the production, you have to stop the server and run the command npm run build. Once it is built, you will have to run the command npm run start. Then it will start the built project in the production mode. Alright, it is built. Now I will run the command npm run start, and now let me show you. I will reload it, and you can see that in the network tab, about page and the dynamic page has been pre-rendered, prefetched. Okay, so if you now click on those pages, it will instantly go to those pages without any wait time period. So for example, if you click on that, it will take you to that page immediately without sending an additional request to the backend. Okay, now in some case, if you want to disable the prefetch, you will just add prefetch is equal to false, and now let me build it again and then we will start it again. Okay, now let's run the npm run start. Okay, let's reload it, and this time you can see that only one page was prefetched, that was the dynamic route, but the about page was not prefetched because we literally disabled the prefetching for that. Now instead of enabling that again, I will uncomment this piece of code. So this will prefetch my page on when the component will be mounted. So let's rebuild the project and we will start it again to test it. Okay, now let's run the start and let's reload it. So this time you can notice that the about page is prefetched. So in this way, when you are not using the link tag, you are redirecting with the help of the programmatic approach, then you can prefetch the pages. Or even if you are using the link tag, you can still use this approach to prefetch the page, because normally the link tag would be prefetched only if it is visible in the viewport. So for example, if about link is hidden behind below under the scroll, for example, there is too much content above there and about link is too far in the scroll, then and it is not currently visible in the viewport, then it will not prefetch it. But if you are running this command, this function, then it will immediately prefetch that page without waiting for the scroll to reach to that page. So let me demonstrate that thing as well. So I'm going to comment it out again, and let's add, let me remove it, and here I will add the margin bottom 3000 pixels. Okay, now let's build it again and start it. Okay, it is built. Now let's start it. Now let me reload it. Now you will notice that none of the pages were prefetched. So because they are two below, and you will notice that as soon as you scroll down, whenever those links would be available in the visible in the viewport, they will be prefetched. So look at that. You can see that about link is about to be appear in the viewport, and it is immediately prefetched. So you can see, and similarly the dynamic link tag is also going to be appeared in the viewport, so that's why it is prefetched. Okay, now in some case, if you want to prefetch the page before scrolling down, you can do that. So for example, here I will uncomment this piece of code, and let's build it again. Okay, now let's start it. Once that is done, now let's reload it. This time you can see that I did not scroll down, but it still prefetched the about page immediately without waiting for you to scroll down. Okay, and now I scroll down, and this remaining linked page is also prefetched. So today we have covered several methods to navigate between pages in NextJS application, from using link component to advanced programming navigation. Each method serves different needs, offering flexibility and control over how users navigate to your application. I hope that this video was useful for you. Thank you for watching. If this tutorial was helpful, please like, subscribe and comment below with any questions or what you would like to see next. Also, please hit that bell icon to get notified for my upcoming videos. Thanks again and see you next time. Goodbye.